Texas high school football season hits full swing with a big slate of Week 2 games. These are the picks. Welcome into the Picks, your guide to Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Did you catch your breath from a wild Week 1? Well, guess what? We got even more high-powered Texas high school football action this week. We start in Cuero. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Gobbler Stadium in Cuero. It's the Cuero Gobblers welcoming in the Yoakum Bulldogs. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number one, versatile playmakers. Both sides of the ball here have outstanding playmakers, both offensively and defensively. For Cuero, the guys to know are Kieran Grant and Jordan Whittington, the latter of which is becoming a high-profile prospect across the state of Texas. On the other side, Yoakum's got Jordan Moore. You may remember him from the state championship game last year. He can make plays on both offense and defense. He will make an impact all over the field. Whose playmakers stand out most? Key number two, beef. These are two small schools, but they are absolutely huge up front. For Cuero, they've got Bradley Perez. For Yoakum, they've got a couple of 300-pounders on their offensive and defensive line, led by Silas Robinson. Who wins in the trenches when beef meets beef? And key number three, first game jitters. So if you're a believer that you've got to get one game out of the way before you can settle into a season, then Yoakum has a pretty sizable advantage here. They've already played a game. They played Hondo last week. Cuero's season opener against a private school from the Houston area was canceled because of Hurricane Harvey. So this is their season opener. Does Yoakum really have an advantage because they've played a game, or will it be business as usual for Cuero? Who am I picking? I'm going with Yoakum in this one. I think this is a pretty much a coin flip type game. These are two teams that do not like each other very much, and they're going to get after it. I really like Yoakum's advantages in the trenches. I think that they're going to be able to dominate up front, both offensively and defensively, and then make a couple of big plays with their playmaker, Jordan Moore. I think Jordan Whittington for Cuero can take over this game, and keep an eye on Kieran Grant as well. But for now, I like Yoakum to take home the victory. Meanwhile, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Hewitt's Panther Stadium. It's the Hewitt Midway Panthers welcoming in the Round Rock Cedar Ridge Raiders. What are the keys to this matchup? Well, key number one, Midway's next big thing. So if you look back at the history of Midway quarterbacks, it's pretty special. You've, of course, got Kramer Robertson, who is such a fantastic quarterback for them, who went on to be quite a baseball player as well. You've got Sam Glazeman, who's the quarterback at Rice right now. You've got Ben Hicks, who's the quarterback at SMU. This new guy, though, Tanner Mordecai, may in fact be the best of the bunch. We saw him in 7-on-7, and he lit it up. He looks the part. He's got a rocket launcher attached to his shoulder. What does he have to say in this matchup? Key number two, new faces for Cedar Ridge. So this is pretty much a completely different team from last year's breakout Raiders team, starting at the top with their new coach Sam Robinson, who takes over for Sean Bell, who took a job at Baylor in the offseason. Meanwhile, they got a new quarterback as well, Ezekiel Koss, and the early returns on him are pretty good. Overall, this is a very different looking Raiders team. How quickly do they gel? And key number three, vengeance. So last year, these two teams played, and it was all Cedar Ridge, 52-3 over Midway. Don't think for a second that the Panthers have forgotten about that thumping at the hands of Cedar Ridge. Will Midway play with an extra chip on their shoulder just because of what happened last year? Who am I picking? I'm going with Midway. I think being at home helps for them, and also I'm really high on this quarterback, Tanner Mordecai. I think he's awful special. Beyond that, I think their defense has a chance to be very good, and for Cedar Ridge, I still think there are too many new pieces to think that they're going to gel this quickly. I think that Cedar Ridge, if they can get a big game, especially from their running back, Simi Bakari, I think they've got a shot in this one, but for now, I like Midway to take home the victory. 7 o'clock Friday night at Lake Travis ISD Stadium. It's the Cibolo Steel Knights visiting the Lake Travis Cavaliers. Cibolo Steel looked very good last week in a sound victory over San Antonio Madison, but Lake Travis, they kind of got beat pretty badly on statewide TV by an excellent Converse Judson team. What does Lake Travis do to adjust from what they've learned from last week? I think that their quarterback, Matthew Baldwin, has a better game. I think the defense makes a couple of strides, and I think Lake Travis takes home the victory. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Cisco's Chesley Stadium. It's the Cisco Lobos welcoming in the Wall Hawks. Was there a more impressive team in Week 1 than Wall? 50-13 over Monahans. They're going to keep on rolling. I think they win this game. Watch out for Cisco, though. If they can get their offense rolling, I think this could be a high-scoring shootout. For now, though, I think Wall gets the win. And a Thursday treat in the DF Dub, 7 p.m. Thursday at C.H. Collins Stadium in Denton as Denton Geyer takes on DeSoto. DeSoto's title offense got off to a bit of a shaky start. They needed a late defensive stand to beat Dallas Jesuit. Meanwhile, Denton Geyer fell behind Mansfield Lake Ridge early, made a big comeback. The bottom line is both teams are 1-0 and both teams have big-time playmakers. Who's able to weather the storm early is probably going to be who wins this one. I'm going to go with the defending champs. Give me DeSoto. But those are far from the only big games in Week 2 of the Texas high school football season. Let's get to the lightning round. I like Buffalo to beat Normandy. Give me Graham to beat Brownwood. And I think Corpus Christi Calallen gets a test, but they beat San Antonio Johnson. I'm taking Frisco Lone Star to beat Mansfield Timberview. Give me Longview to beat Marshall. And I like John Tyler to take down Ennis. Let's span the state. I like El Paso Chapin to beat El Paso Eastlake. I like Newton to beat Silsbee and Bernie over Medina Valley. I'm buying in on Lubbock Cooper. I think they beat Canyon Randall. Give me Angleton over El Campo. And Odessa Permian beats El Paso Franklin. Out east, I like Henderson over Tatum. Down south, I like Weslaco East over McAllen Memorial. And in San Antonio, I like O'Connor over Churchill. Shallowater really impressed me last week. I think they keep it going with a win over Levelland. Give me Lubbock Coronado over Wichita Falls Ryder. And Harlingen gets a win barely over Laredo United South. Give me Temple to beat Round Rock. Give me Gunner to beat Pottsboro. And I think Aubrey takes down Whitesboro. I like Argyle over LaGrange. Give me Abilene over Midland Lee. And in our six-man game of the week, I think Turkey Valley beats Follette. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/DaveCampbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/DaveCampbells. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Week 2 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.